Thousands of Central Americans boarding buses today in Mexico City, and they are headed, you know where they're headed, to the U.S. border. Some 12,000 of them applying for special visas that would allow them to travel openly in Mexico. President Trump today vowed to put a stop to it. He tweeted this: more troops being sent to the southern border to stop the attempted invasion of illegals through large caravans into our country. We've stopped the previous caravans, and we will stop these also. With a wall, it would be so much easier and less expensive being built. Joining us tonight, Jenna, Ellis, contributor to the Washington Examiner, 2020 Trump surrogate, attorney, director of public policy at the James Dobbson Family Institute. I said all of that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you're a busy person, so we doubly appreciate your time. Let's start with, first of all, these caravans that are being shipped, the troops that we've had to send to the border. You get your reaction to whether this president will have any problem at all in declaring a national emergency without border wall funding.
Well, from a constitutional law perspective, this ultimately is about what powers are vested in the executive office. And so with the National Security Act, what Congress has done is given to the executive the ability to declare a national emergency. We are currently under 31 national emergencies. And so this is something that the president absolutely has the power to do.
Let's put up for the audience the Title 10 U.S. Code on this issue that is declaring a national emergency. In the event of a declaration of war or the declaration by the president of a national emergency in accordance with the National Emergencies Act that requires use of the armed forces, the Secretary of Defense may undertake military construction projects, and on it goes. So this is pretty clear. Now the prospects that, let's say, the Ninth Circuit could intervene and stop the president cold. I've heard absolute division on whether or not they would have that power or the possibility of interrupting the president in the act of securing the nation.
And they shouldn't. And the reason that the Ninth Circuit is such a controversial circuit right now is because of the nationwide injunction problem. And what this does is allows leftist activists or anyone really to forum shop.
Because the Ninth Circuit Court is the most left-wing court in the land, and the appellate court.
And the reason is because Presidents Carter, Clinton, and Obama have appointed the most judges to that federal circuit. And originally, our founding fathers intended the judicial branch just to act as essentially umpires. They can say what powers Congress and the executive can do. They don't get into the policy or political questions of what they should do.
And as the story keeps progressing, Kamala, I'm told is the correct pronunciation for Senator Harris, and Dianne Feinstein are all upset because the president has chosen apparently three folks, conservatives all, to go on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal, which would upset the club mightily.
Right. And this is why our vote as Americans matter. And this is why we need to care what candidates we support. We need to care about understanding what constitutional conservatism is, because a president, regardless of what party they're from, regardless of how they were elected, what happens is that the president under Article 2 has nomination authority. And so it doesn't matter whether or not they like them. That's the political question. What matters is that the president constitutionally can nominate with advice and consent of the Senate. And what President Trump is doing is creating nominations, and he has 51 that he's renominated under the new Congress, and 4 currently on the Ninth Circuit.
He is the most resisted president in history in his judicial nominations. And it is an extraordinarily sad and dark moment in American history that this is occurring.
And it's all political rather than understanding the legitimate obligation of government, which is to preserve and protect our God-given rights for the family and for the individual. And so what the president is doing is appointing conservative originalists. That doesn't mean Republican or Democrat.
Right, we know what it means.
But some people don't, though. So, and that's the problem.
Not in this audience, Jenna.
But we need to do a better job.
Talking to the smartest audience in
television.
A
better job of doing that.
Jenna Ellis, good to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Up next, the Trump administration revealing